What up, YouTube? This is Yucca. We in the No Pitching Podcast. Right now we're in the Dove Shack, and today I wanted to discuss a very controversial issue, and that issue is abortion and the creation of it. What spawned it? What motivated it? Right? And for a lot of people that don't know, Margaret Sanger, the creator of Planned Parenthood, was really pushing the abortion issue for a specific reason. But for some of y'all that don't know, we about to find out. I know, but do you know? We about to find out. See why these white liberals love pushing that idea so much, right? Let's see this.
Keep abortion safe and legal. Bye, bye, bye.
Ay, Dios mío. What's up with the Spanish subtitle? Subtilados? Espanol? I don't fucking know. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Give me a break.
Megan, what is wrong with Margaret Sanger?
She said that the most merciful thing that a family could do to one of its young is to kill it.
Well, I'm sure that was taken out of context.
In this video, I'm going to show you who
No, it
Margaret
wasn't.
Sanger really was and why she founded Planned Parenthood.
All right, let's see why.
These 21 quotes by Margaret Sanger reveal the
That's
wicked
21
roots of the abortion
questions.
movement and expose. Sanger peddles racism, eugenics, contraception, and abortion, while demonstrating
I'm assuming this is probably some religious group, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm not religious, but does not mean that my enemy's enemy isn't my friend. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep keep it real with you. I am not religious by any means, right? But I am very conservative in many things because I believe that those holy books were made and evolved over time because they understood certain things, basic things in society that we needed to keep a functional society. Otherwise, it would have been total chaos. I'm not.
I hate logic.
Sorry, I accidentally pressed the soundboard.
Will only exacerbate the situation.
But yeah, these ideas evolved. Otherwise, we would have had chaotic society. We would have been living like Genghis Khan or like the Vikings, right? So, you know what I mean? Where just your woman would have got raped, snatched. You know what I mean? No order. We needed some kind of order. So that's where religion came in, right? And it evolved to be more like our judicial system is basically what it became, right? So, yeah, don't underestimate religion. Even though I dispute it, I debate a lot of stuff in it, the metaphysical stuff. I debate all of that. I'm a very logical person, but let's go.
a visceral hatred for children, parenthood, marriage, and the Catholic Church.
Sound like a typical woman nowadays. She's the OG.
Every quote I'm about to give you has been verified and is well documented.
Okay. Do look like a Mormon.
But from my view, I believe that there should be no more babies. The most merciful thing that the large family does to one of its infant members is to kill it. We don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population.
But your dumbass wrote it in a book. I read that quote too. That was she was writing that in her journals, I believe, right? So she had you can buy them, you can download them online. She got a whole lot of issues from her journals, and she you can find it all. And you'd have to really sift through a lot of this stuff, but or you can download it in PDF and just go find and click on certain trigger words or whatever. But yeah, her goal was to exterminate the black population, right? And then after that, I'm guessing other populations, right? But hey, man, y'all support Planned Parenthood, right? At what point it's like you do some real evil. Yeah, the whole concept behind the creation of something is completely evil, and then y'all find good in it and refuse to get rid of it, right? Even though you know why it's there. It's funny. It's funny.
I accepted an invitation to talk to the women's branch of the Ku Klux Klan. I was escorted to the platform, was introduced, and began to speak. In the end, through simple illustrations, I believed I had accomplished my purpose. A dozen invitations to speak to similar groups were proffered.
Hold up. I took that in, but what the fuck is proffered? I have never heard that word in my life. Hold up. Proffered. Hold out something to someone for acceptance. Offer. What? Proffer. Hold out to someone for acceptance. Oh, to like offer, but proffer? So it's basically like offer. Man, y'all confused the hell out of me. Let's go.
Do you believe there is such a thing as sin?
Well, I think the greatest sin in the world is bringing children into the world that have disease from their parents, that have no chance in the world to be a human being, practically. Delinquents, prisoners, all sorts of things just marked when they're born. That, to me, is the greatest sin that people can commit.
The most serious evil of our times is that of encouraging the bringing into the world of large families. The most immoral practice of the day is breeding too many children.
So the funny thing is, like, behind closed doors, she's talking to the Ku Klux Klan. She's saying we need to exterminate the Negro population. But on air, this is, believe it or not, this is her filtered thoughts of, hey, you know what, man? Maybe we should just stop breeding children in messed up households, right? But that, if you read between the lines, you ain't even got to read between the lines. You just go back and look at her unfiltered thoughts on her pages, right? Crazy. It's crazy, man. See, this is why I can't rock with a lot of you feminists, because you guys don't even research. You guys just pander. You guys listen to memes and all sorts of jargon that y'all just been regurgitating and don't even understand what created your group. Don't understand why you believe what you believe, right? Have you really thought about it? Have you really questioned and sat there objectively and maybe even cross-reference things? And no, y'all don't do that. Y'all just, that's what y'all do. Verbal diarrhea.
Eugenics without birth control seems to us a house builded upon the sands. It is at the mercy of the rising stream of the unfit.
Hold up, that was too poetic for me. Eugenics without birth control seems to us a house builded upon the sands. It is at the mercy of the rising stream of the unfit. Okay, I hear what he's saying. I hear what she's saying. She's saying basically that because eugenics is basically filtering out all the disease and the bad genetics and the races and this and that. You know what I mean? They wanted to make everything a little whiter and brighter. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to have a very white Christmas. So they saying trying to do that without birth control is like, again, like building a house upon sand, where you're relying on its safety and its you're relying at the stand, but you're at the mercy of a stream. You know what I mean? On the shore or whatever. But I understand the metaphor, I guess. But yeah, that's fucked up. Oh, you all kinds of fucked up. And look how they cropped her out too. If I did that kind of crop work in 2023, I would have been fired from my job.
As an advocate of birth control, I wish to take advantage of the present opportunity to point out that the unbalance between the birth rate of the unfit and the fit, admittedly the greatest present menace to civilization, can never be rectified by the inauguration of a cradle competition between these two classes.
Oh shit, she must be talking about single baby mamas. That's who she must be talking about, single baby mamas. She talking about the people the unfit, right? The people that create all kinds of criminals and 80-90% of prisoners raised by single mothers, right? 80% of women abusers and serial killers raised by single mothers. I think that's who she's referring to, right? Don't quote me, but you know what I mean? Comment if I'm wrong, but that's what it sounds like to me. So
the most urgent problem today is how to limit and discourage the overfertility of the mentally and physically defective.
Who that?
No more children should be born when the parents, though healthy themselves, find that their children are physically or mentally defective. A marriage license shall in itself give husband and wife only the right to a common household and not the right to parenthood.
Sorry, I just had a quick epiphany. Did Margaret Sanger have children? Did Margaret Sanger have children? She had 3 children. Oh, okay, so I was going to say that she was projecting and she was kind of concerned about her own genes, But nah, she was concerned about y'all's genes. She didn't want y'all to procreate. Think about it.
No woman shall have the legal right to bear a child, and no man shall have the right to become a father without a permit for parenthood.
Sound like China. That sound like the one-child policy. How did that help their nation, right?
Permits for parenthood shall be issued upon application by city, county, or state authorities to married couples, providing they are financially able to support the expected child, have the qualifications needed for proper rearing of the child, have no transmissible diseases.
My bad, I gotta rewind
that. Needed for they are financially able to support the expected child.
Permits for parenthood shall be issued upon application by city, county, or state authorities to married couples, providing they are financially able to support the expected child, have the qualifications needed for proper rearing of the child. This is some 1984 shit. And a lot of people think that George Orwell was like some kind of prophetic figure, but you can't call the man prophetic when he's seeing this in his time. This is, I don't know when he wrote 1984. Don't quote, y'all can Google it, whatever, maybe write it in the comments, but this is 1920, this quote came out. So none of these are new concepts. They've been trying to do this stuff forever. You know what I'm saying? Don't believe the hype that this is all like groundbreaking. You know what I mean? They've been trying to control us, control the women's wombs, and control fatherhood and all of that, right? Control minorities.
Child, have the qualifications needed for proper rearing of the child, have no transmissible diseases, and on the woman's part, no medical indication that the maternity is likely to result in death or permanent injury to health. No permit for parenthood shall be valid for more than one birth. Apply a stern and rigid policy of sterilization and
I bet you she was just walking through black neighborhoods like, let me write this in my notebook. No, we don't want this. We don't want this.
Segregation to that grade of population whose progeny is tainted, or whose inheritance is such that objectionable traits may be transmitted to offspring. These two words, birth control, sum up our whole philosophy.
Control. I'm gonna pause that for a second, and I'm gonna check out some.
Well, thank you so much. It's great to be back in Houston with so many friends and to have an opportunity to participate in the Planned Parenthood annual meeting. I have to tell you that it was a great privilege when I was told that I would receive this award.
I'm gonna keep it real with y'all for a second. And I don't dispute that Margaret Sanger did speak at KKK rallies because she wrote about it, right? But is it just me, or does that picture look cropped as hell? Look at it. That looked like a cropped ass photo. Who knows? Maybe the newspaper or whatever they did that intentionally just to kind of get the vibe going or whatever. But yeah, that looked like a cropped ass. Yeah.
I admire Margaret Sanger enormously. Her courage, her tenacity.
For what?
Her vision.
What was a vision? Millions of black babies killed?
Another of my great friends, Ellen Chesler, is here, who wrote a magnificent biography of Margaret Sanger.
Oh, I was hoping that would have been. Margaret Sanger founded Planned Parenthood on October 16, 1960, in order to eliminate what she thought were inferior races like Orientals, Jews, and blacks. She referred to them as human weeds. Her father was the village atheist. She died an alcoholic and drug addict.
Called Woman of Valor. And when I think about what she did, all those...
See, y'all feminists, just everything is just, y'all so blind. Y'all just hear Woman of Valor. I could just get a whole crowd of feminists and be like, you know what? Women are actually God. And on a metaphysical lens, I could just toot their horns on such a an overly condescending fashion, and they'll eat it all up. They won't question anything I say. They won't cross-reference anything I say. In fact, they'll probably make memes. They'll clip out the shit I said in that lecture, and then it'll be circulated in millions and millions of different Instagram channels and YouTube and TikTok, and people will just eat it up and accept it as fact. They won't even know who I am. They won't know my qualifications. They'll just eat it up. And I notice a lot of that with these spiritual crowds and these feminist crowds and even the pro-black crowds. A lot of them, they're just, you know what I mean? How many times you seen some random white professor saying, Egypt was black and this, and it's like, cool, maybe it was, but who is this guy? Do y'all know his qualifications? Do you guys know who this dude was? Or y'all just, I've seen the same videos be circulated for the last 20, 30 years. So, I mean, hey, take it how you want to.
Years ago in Brooklyn, taking on archetypes, taking on attitudes and accusations flowing from all directions. I am really in awe of her. And there are a lot of lessons that we can learn from her life and from the cause she launched and fought for.
I'm sorry, but maybe it's just me, but I thought Margaret Sanger was Jewish. I don't know. She looked Jewish and her name sounded kind of Jewish, but don't quote me on that. I don't. You know what? I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna Google since I already got the Wikipedia open. Let's see here. Early life. Oh, she was Irish Catholic. Okay. But them Irish dudes, they be telling me, yo, man, you know us Irish, man, we slaves like y'all, man.
It means the release and cultivation of the better elements in our society.
I fucked that one up, didn't I?
And sacrificed so greatly.
Now that look a little more realistic.
Do you believe in sin? When I say believe, I don't mean to believe in committing sin. Do you believe there is such a thing as sin?
Well, I think the greatest sin in the world is bringing children into the world that have disease from their parents, that have no chance in the world to be a human being, practically. Delinquents, prisoners, all sorts of things just marked when they're born. That, to me, is the greatest sin that people can commit.
That don't sound very Catholic to me. You know what I mean? That don't sound very Catholic to me. But again, a lot of these people don't really like. I feel like she sound and looked to me like something happened to her in her childhood. Like that's what it sounded like to me. Like she's very mad about something, you know. Which, hey, man, to each their own, I guess. But don't let that don't let that affect me and mine, you know.
And the gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extinction of defective stocks. Those human
defective stocks. That's what she's minimizing y'all to. Defective stocks. And this is who y'all hold in high regard. Y'all worship her foundation. It's crazy.
Which threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization. Organized charity itself is the symptom of a malignant social disease.
Malignant, meaning cancerous, meaning deathly. Organized charity itself is the symptom of a malignant social disease. I kind of agree with that little quote a little bit, right? Saying that the fact that we have to organize charity says there's something bigger in our society that's a problem. But who are usually the recipients of that charity? Who are the recipients of that? You know what I mean? Because it's, God forbid it be single men, struggling men, homeless men, you know what I mean? Yeah, they got a couple whatever, but for most part it's women's shelters, welfare system, single mother child benefits and whatnot. Like single mothers tend to be the greatest recipients of all this organized charity, right?
My own position is that the Catholic doctrine is illogical, not in accord with science, and definitely against social welfare and race improvement.
See, something happened to her in her childhood, right? Where she really hates the religion that she grew up in because she's clearly very anti-Catholic and she grew up in an Irish Catholic household. So I'm telling you, something happened to her. I've seen some of them documentaries on Netflix. You know, the ones about the Catholic Church. You know what I'm talking about, right? They had the one in Boston too that was foul, but yeah. Oh, you ugly. They should
All
have
of
they
our
should have aborted your
problems are
ass.
the result of overbreeding among the working class. Knowledge
All of our problems are the result of overbreeding among the working class. Knowledge of birth control is essentially moral. It's general. Though prudent, practical must lead to a higher individuality and ultimately to a cleaner race. This is who y'all worship. This is who y'all hold in high esteem, in high regards. This is who y'all are her soldiers. Y'all are her minions. Y'all are carrying out her wishes, her philosophy, her dreams. That's what y'all are doing, dumbass.
of birth control is essentially moral. Its general, though prudent practice must lead to a higher individual. Feeble-mindedness perpetuates itself from the ranks of those who are blandly indifferent to their racial responsibilities.
Feeble-mindedness perpetuates itself from the ranks of those who are blandly indifferent to their racial responsibility. Someone fucking break that down for me. I can't think right now. It's still early. I haven't had a coffee yet. Give me a break. But, I mean, it's not that early. It's 12:48. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of early to me. But don't judge me.
And it is largely this type of humanity we are now drawing upon to populate our world for the generations to come.
Oh, them dumb minorities they don't got no responsibility. That's who's gonna populate the world. Cause us liberal-minded folk, we barely have any children. The people having the children are the Irish Catholics and the Muslims and the religious folk. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want them to overpopulate. God no. Godly.
In this orgy of multiplying and replenishing the earth, this type is pari passu multiplying and perpetuating those.
Oh yeah, cool. So see, a lot of these motherfuckers, they think because they're intellectuals that they're using words like pari passu, which I gotta Google right now because I don't know what the fuck a pari passu is. Y'all don't judge me now. I'm just trying to learn. I'm trying to learn like y'all. Side by side at the same rate or an equal footing. Okay, pari passu. Don't get mad at me if I use that word in the future, knowing where it came from, where I got it from, right? Don't judge me. That's kind of smooth.
Direst evils.
Hold up. This type is pari passu, multiplying and perpetuating those direst evils in which we must, if civilization is to survive, extirpate by the very roots.
Is pari passu multiplying and perpetuating those direst evils in which we must, if civilization is to survive, extirpate by the very roots.
One more, y'all. It's 21 questions, and they all about us.
Birth control itself, often denounced as a violation of natural law, is nothing more or less than the facilitation of the process of weeding out the unfit.
Yo.
Well, I forgot to text you downstairs.
You downstairs? All right, cool. I'm just finishing up this video. I'll be there in 2 seconds.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Of preventing the birth of defectives or of those who will become defectives. If we are to make racial progress, this development of womanhood must precede motherhood in every individual woman.
How does that make sense? Womanhood must precede motherhood. You know, some things in life you just gotta, jump in the water and learn how to swim because it's more of practical learning, And women are genetically and hormonally built for that. I mean, some are wild, crazy, and they ain't fit mothers. But what are we seeing now? How did that turn out with these 30 and 40-year-old first time mothers now? How did that turn out for our society? What she wished for, right? She wished for all of this, and y'all are perpetuating it. Y'all are her minions. And so tell me how is society today when y'all are sitting here at your most privileged time in society and y'all just feel like a bunch of victims, And I know I sound hateful. You know what I mean? Because I lived evil villain's origin story. I lived that, so that's what I am a little bit. But I'm still loving and I'm kind, right? I'm a little bit in between at the moment, right? But I gotta rush downstairs because Slugger down there waiting for me. The buzzer got frozen over, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Like, subscribe, comment, and please, if you feel I'm wrong for anything I'm saying here, disagree with me. I welcome debate. I welcome discourse. You know what I'm saying? I live for that. So please do. You know what I'm saying? So peace, and email will be in the comments in the about me. So if y'all have any video ideas, please holler at me and let me know, right? Peace.